What's up guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to make a hard trap beat. So we're going to be doing the full process. So that means the beat, we're going to probably experiment, we're going to do the effects and some mixing and mastering and probably some structure or arrangement so we can have an outro beat. So we got a lot to get through. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to make a dark trap beat, right? So definitely going to be using let's just do like our D minor. I think it'll just be fine that way and we don't have to like transpose it. So we're going to be using these strings here. So this is the sound that I picked. Okay, thought that would fit kind of the vibe. So I'm gonna go through here and go ahead and get down our string. So with each instrument, we don't need to do anything crazy. We can just kind of just do like let's do just a regular chord. Oops. And then put here. Just get a nice little rhythm. Maybe we can pull this down. I really want to utilize like the screechiness to kind of give it some of that tension. Maybe we can. Let's flip that. Okay, I think I like that. I'm gonna just copy this over. Like so, and then we can just do something like this, and then maybe just for variation, because you don't really want it to sound the exact same every time. Maybe we can just move some of this stuff around. So yeah, I'm gonna just copy these, see what that sounds like. And I'm gonna copy this and put this at the back so that it loops. All right, it's like a little nice loop. So let's listen to it. And I probably should mess with the velocity. So we're gonna, since this video is more of a full process, I'm gonna kind of start doing that stuff. So I think for these, we can just pull these down slightly. So I'm messing with the velocity right now. Okay, and you could, maybe over here, we could pull this back down. Okay, I think that's good. So let's go ahead and move on to our next instrument now. Next up, we have our piano. So for this one, I modified this one. So all I did, I wanted it to be very ambient and have a lot of reverb. So I just boosted the reverb right here. And I just put the tonal shift all the way to the right and the color a little bit. So I'll just show you what it does. So I wanted to kind of be in the background, kind of add to the strings. So we're just gonna throw down some little basic chords and we could just pretty much copy what we have over here. And what I would do is take this note, pull it up, and that we can have like some larger chords. You don't have to do that. You could do other stuff. Like if we want to do this, right? Right, you could choose whatever you want. What I'm doing is just what I prefer. If you want to use a different chord or different note, you can go ahead and do that. I'm gonna use this. And then what if we did what would be nice here? What if we try to diminish? Now I am going outside the scale. I'm kind of utilizing chords that I know, but if this bothers you, you could just go ahead and just use the dyad. It's perfectly fine. You could use this. It's the same vibe anyway, but I'm gonna just use the whole thing. And I'm actually pull it up. So and then let's go ahead and pull this over. And then over here, let's see, maybe we could do and this will be augmented, I believe. Just check the work. You can go up here, go to augmented, and you can see if it works. So that's augmented. You know it's augmented because there's 3 spaces in between both edges of the chord. So I'm just trying to get the tension that I'm hearing in my head down. So I'm just kind of tweaking this a bit. Okay, I think that's fine. It's a little too much tension, but I think it's fine. So that is the piano. I guess I can put these on bar, and bar will just make it loop infinitely. So yeah, that's the piano. Let's go ahead and move on to our violin. The sound we have next is a violin. So you can use any sound you want. I'm just kind of going with the strings, right? So this is the sound that I pick. Any violin sample, one shot sound, VST will work. This is just what I prefer. All right, so this is what I have here. So at this point, we kind of want to start building the melody. So what I would do personally on this, and you can keep doing this little method, but what I would do is make the original chord and start your melody on that middle note, and it could be any note in between. So it can be any of these notes if we were to drag these back in. And that is what I found personally to be the fastest way to come up with a melody, especially maybe you just don't know too much about melody, chords, whatever, right? That's like an easy way to do it, but it's not something you have to do. So let's go ahead, and I'm gonna just kind of use this. Maybe we can do. I'm gonna copy this, pull that down, and I'll explain why I'm using this note real quick once I finish this. All right, let's go. I guess that was fine. So I'm using this E is because when you make a beat, right, you want it to loop. So basically if we go from this E and then it hits this, right, it'll loop, it'll sound good because it'll hit back on this F, right? But if we just did this, it will sound fine, but it would sound a little weird if it looped back into the same note. So I'm trying to avoid that, and that's why I'm using this E. Just, it's not really that big of a deal, but just a little detail. Okay, and then we go ahead and loop that. We just use bar, and then we can go ahead and move on to our flute. Now we're gonna go ahead and start the flute. So this is my favorite flute plugin. There may be others, and I have other plugins, but this one is the most realistic in terms of you playing it. Right, it just, I don't know what they did to it, but it just sounds really good. So I just picked this one. So we're gonna go in here, and at this point, we can ignore like these little notes here, but at this point, you kind of should know like the formula, right? Like you pretty much just make the chord and you just use the notes in between, right? So that is what we're gonna do. We're gonna take this, and you could just kind of build your notes out of this. And I guess we can do a 1/3 for the flutes. Make sure that sound good first. Maybe 1/4. Nah, I think 1/3 was better. All right, so let's play around with this. And what I'm trying to do right now, just to kind of walk you through, I'm trying to make sure that this isn't, I want this part to be memorable, because what I'm trying to do is basically make it so it's a loop, a 2-bar loop, but I don't want this part to be or sound better than this. So I'm trying to like make it as stale as possible, but make it still sound good. I don't know, hopefully that explained it, but that's what I'm trying to do. Guess we can like, actually that might sound good. Let's see. Okay, I can work with that. And then I don't know if we can take something. Let's just make a chord up. Just use that note. So now this should loop, and I'm gonna actually turn these up a bit. Actually, no, I am not. Let's go ahead. Okay, I like that combo better. So that is our flute melody. I'm gonna pull it up an octave or two and see. I'm gonna actually use both. And when we add effects, I'll probably like use some like halftime and stuff. We'll see how that turns out. But for now, I think this is good. Let's go ahead and put this on bar just so everything will play all the way through. And I'll just play it real quick, see what we have so far. Okay, I like that. And actually, nah, I don't know. Let's just leave it how it is. It worked. All right, so let's go ahead and finally we'll finish our melody up and do the guitar. Lastly, for the melody, we have our guitar. So this will kind of put everything together. So this is, I have the 𝗗𝗦𝗘𝗙𝗘𝗥𝗡𝗧 nylon guitar, and I put it on Spanish. Okay. You can use any guitar for this. It doesn't really matter because when you add effects, who cares what VST you're using? So same thing. If you notice, there's a pattern. We have not really used any other notes other than the main like chord, right? So we're gonna just keep doing that. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So let's and we probably will have to play around with this a bit because this guitar can kind of. And then when you're making these guitar melodies, you gotta kind of imagine how you would play it or someone would play it. So you can't put too many notes or it'll start to sound a little too unrealistic. And then maybe like a note here. I don't know why that is not playing. Maybe because this is overlapping. That is really bothering me that it's not playing, but all right, that's a little bit more smooth. So let's do this and then go up. What is wrong with this guitar? And this is the problem with these guitar plugins. It's I don't even know what it's on. I don't know what's happening. It's on legato mode, whatever. Okay, see, sometimes it's just how it is. Just you gotta get it right. All right, I think that's good enough. We'll copy it over, pull this up. Nope. All right, we're good here. I don't know what just happened. Oh, wait. What is that? Why is it doing that? Okay. All right, that took a long time. but sometimes it's just how it is. Okay, finally, I like that. All right, so now what we're gonna do is I think we can make the beat and then we can add effects. So I'm gonna put this on bar. So let's go ahead and quickly we can throw down the drums. Now we're gonna go ahead and start an 808, and then we're gonna kind of trickle down everything else, you know, do our drums, our hi-hats. So this should be pretty easy. We can just do our D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, boom. And then now we can kind of play around with these, and I'm gonna just turn these up all the way just to make it easy. Let's do a 1/2 beat. Wait, we were in 1/3 here. Okay, I guess we were 1/3 there too. Yeah, we can quickly do this. It shouldn't be too long. You know, it doesn't really matter. Copy that over, and then we just adjust. So move some of this stuff over. Let's move to a 1/4 beat, and then we can just go ahead and chop this. Let's make sure it's on 1/4, and then I'm gonna just let it come in like that. Maybe we can put that at the end. I want to take this away. I want to adjust this a little bit. I feel like this is kind of, you know, something is off about it. Okay, that's a little better. And then we can delete this and slide it over. I'm gonna pull this back down a bit. Maybe we can pull this one. I know I'm doing a lot, but I just want to, let me see. Okay, I think that's enough. And the only reason I'm adding all this is because we want a little bit of variation for when we have structure. And since we doubled this, since we have like 2 different parts, I don't want the 808 to be too consistent. So I want us to kind of follow all these other parts that we made. So that's 808. I think we can go ahead and add the drums. We can start with the hi-hats just so we have a nice little rhythm first. Now we're gonna go ahead and take care of our hi-hats, and I forgot to turn this on. So let's go ahead and throw these in. I'm gonna try to keep this one fairly short in terms of like pattern. And basically what I want to do with the hi-hats is just match the 808 and play around with the hi-hats against the 808. So like where this hit, I would probably play. So the 808 would usually hit like this, right? So with the hi-hats, you can kind of put them in between, right? Just to kind of build into it, but I think for this. quantize that. And we can just trickle this down. A little simple little trick. And then we can put this on bar, because I think that's enough. Kind of tired of messing with these hi-hats. Whatever. Okay, I like that. I'm ready to kind of add the effects, but we're gonna go ahead and throw in these drums real quick. I kind of want to keep everything together so you can click on specific parts or chapters if you want to go to a specific part. So now we can kind of do these little drums here. Now we're gonna go ahead and start our drums. So I have muted these. You probably noticed that I muted these. I usually like to do that because I don't like to ruin the end result for myself, even though we got a lot of other stuff we're gonna do. But you know, I just kind of like to keep the main little sounds there. But let's go ahead and throw these in. This should be pretty easy, honestly. Just kind of do something like that. I'm gonna just I'll play around with this a bit, and then maybe we can do like a pan. And maybe here we could do a little something. So let's do 1/4. I want this a little bit more low key, so I'm gonna just put this on bar so it repeats, and then we could turn it down and then turn it up. And with these drums, I want them to be more felt than heard, if that makes sense. You don't really want it to be the forefront. You just kind of want it to be felt so you can kind of feel the bounce. But I think this is good. And I'll be honest, I think this beat is done. Really, if we wanted to just leave it here, you really could and just structure it. But I think what we can do now is we can go ahead and I think I'm gonna load up some basic effects, just because that could take forever just loading it. So I'm gonna load up some basic effects, put these in like buses and stuff, and I'll explain that. But we can go ahead and start adding some little effects real quick. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and go over the effects for the melody. So for this, I put all of our background sounds here, so you can hold control and then click over all of them, including a empty channel. So the bus was a empty channel. Right click, track routing, route select to this track only, and then it will route everything here. There's other ways to do it, but that's like the most common way. So now these are in a bus, right? So I just went ahead and added these little sounds on top. And what a bus does is just allows you to add effects to everything in it. And you can kind of turn it, right, as you can see. So on top, I just had a reverb. Now I didn't do anything to these yet because I'm gonna do it here. But basically with this, and with this halftime, right? You could try like a halftime or reverse on your sounds just to see what they sound like. But I like this halftime, so this is what the halftime sounds like. Turn this off. Right, so I just add this reverb, and I'm gonna just go ahead and kind of tweak this. So what I really want to go for is kind of pull some of that low end out, and then I want to dilute it so it's not too like crazy. Okay, I like that. I like that. I just wanted to kind of pull some of those highs out, so that's good. And then just for the flute and guitar, I'll kind of like pan these and stuff. So no, actually that turned out pretty good with the when I switched it from the high, pull it up an octave and pull one down an octave. So I actually think we don't even need to mix it that much. I put a convolver on this. Basically with the convolver, I just leave it as it is and I just kind of turn this down. So I'll just kind of turn that knob down. And then with this guitar, I'm gonna actually copy this over here. Now, in my opinion, EQO is the best and most slept on EQ in FL. I think this is the best one by far. So I like using this one, and I like clicking this little button right here, if you can see that. That way you can edit every single one, and then you can make it larger if you want to have smaller increments. Like if you want to like really get in there and mess around with it. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and tweak the guitar. I want to bring some of that noise out in the guitar, so we can go ahead and do that. And one thing I like to do is just pull everything down, and you can just kind of pull up certain frequencies. And then one other thing I like about EQO is you can actually morph it. So you can morph it from the regular to what you have. So as you can see, if I pull this, it's kind of balancing out. You see that? So we could balance this a bit. Actually, I kind of like how sharp it was. And I'm just turning it down. All right, so I'm gonna have to pretty much do all that again, but my mic got muted, so basically I'm gonna have to do that again. So I'm gonna just cut it out. So you probably are wondering like, what am I talking about? But I'm just gonna redo it. So basically all I did here, I'm gonna put on default, is I wanted to put a delay for the master bus on the high end. So I put this on a high pass. You can kind of do whatever, and then you can kind of mess around with the cutoff a bit, but I just pull the frequencies back a bit. So yeah, I just zoomed in so you can have all the settings. So yeah, that's it. That's the delay. And then for the EQ, from here you can do like a little, you can take stuff out as well. So I don't know, we could use this little same method, and you can just boost stuff. And this is another way to reshape your melody after. And I'm pretty sure I got some presets here. Okay, I think that's good enough for the effects and everything. So we'll do, I guess, a little bit of the mastering later with this and everything. We'll just kind of mess with that a little bit. So let's go ahead, and I guess we could do some experimenting with the melody now that it's finished. And I just want to do some experimenting. So this portion, it could be really anything, adding new drums, but the idea I have for this is I want to try to reverse it. Now there's other things I could do with that, but you know, like resample it. But basically I'm gonna just take this, I'm gonna arm the master track first, and then just kind of record this, but I'm gonna mute all of the drums right now. So this, and I'm just kind of play it once or twice through. Actually, let's delete this just so we know that it's a perfect loop. All right, so that stopped, and we can just rename this sample reverse. Okay, so now we can reverse it. Actually, I'm gonna pull it up a bit. And then when you like are editing the sample, usually like +4 or going down 4 works. So you can do like a +400 cents. Get some weird vibes in there. I'm gonna try this. And then I just want to see. We muted this. I wonder if I could add like a. Let's see. And then of course you would need to pull the 808 down. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the only thing I would do different from here, honestly, is I would increase this EQ. I'm not gonna do it again, but I would increase this EQ because I feel like the flute is a little too strong. Maybe that's because of the... But I think this has a lot of potential, but I don't want to go ahead and move on with this because I feel like it'll take a little, it'll be a process to kind of actually make this be right. Because we could put this in, where is it at? Where is it at? What? Okay, I guess that is what that is now. So we could go here to format, and then you could obviously turn the pitch down. I would do like 3500 or something like that, and then you can also do a blur. Now with the blur, I will turn that down, turn the mix right, and then you kind of have a little thing going on here, so I would call this like blur. And maybe we can use this for the and maybe we could use that, chop it up, do whatever. But yeah, that's a little experimenting part. So I'm gonna save this because I actually like this one. Hopefully it's in key still. Turn it up, and let's just rename this to sample. And I like to actually name the effects, so I will put in parentheses, and I will put everything that happened in it. So resample, we could do resample underscore, what do we do, 3500, and it's just so you can know what effects you use. And then I think I did a blur. So yeah, that's what I like to do. That's a little experimenting. We got something out of it, and yeah, we could probably use this for the structure. And I think that's, yeah, we can go ahead and just structure it. I'm not gonna do like some crazy structure, but we can go ahead and do just something for the outro beat, and then we can just do a little bit of mixing. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and do the structure. So I went ahead and just added this EQ. It's the same EQ we used for the other one, but I just kind of morphed it a little bit just to kind of match this blur. And then I'm gonna use this reverse. So I'm gonna change the effect actually, because we're not gonna use the reverse. I'm gonna just say clean, because there's no effects on it. And then I'm gonna just record these together so that we can use it as so it's just a little cleaner to look at, right? So I'm gonna just go ahead and just record these. And then we can name this like final sample, right? It's not really a sample, but it's, you know, a little something. So I'm gonna put this, you know, we could leave it how it is actually. So I'm gonna just chop this a little bit. Okay, we can. I kind of want it to be a little low. Yeah, something like that. I kind of want it to like double up, kind of like a delay, but more controlled. So I'm gonna delete this, pull this back, and then we can just chop it over here. Maybe lower this a bit. And lower this one. Something like that. It's kind of how I want it. And then just repeat it. And then I have to do that over here too. I'm gonna just copy this. And we can do the same thing over here. Gotta make sure I'm using the same like length and stuff. Chop that up, and then we take this, pull that in, and hopefully. That's actually perfect. So I might actually move this up a bit too. Okay, I like that. And this is just for the verse, right? Or whatever, however you want to use it. And we're going to shift G to lock them in. And now everything's locked in. You don't got to worry about, you know, messing up something accidentally. So that is a nice command you should know. So again, that is shift G. Okay. And I believe it's alt G to unlock it. Yes, alt G. Okay. So now we can go ahead and right click. We can clone it. I always clone because you can always go back to your first pattern to edit stuff. And then we're going to, what's that? Okay. I like my stuff organized. I'm gonna change the colors to like a, just do like a blue, whatever. Wait, why didn't that go? Okay. So we cloned it, and then I'll just redo it for if somebody skipped through the video. So we're gonna clone, and then we're gonna split. I'm gonna hold shift, click the top one to the bottom one, drag this out, boom, and then just copy these over like so. And then we can just control B this one. All right, so now we have this, and all we really gotta do for this structure, I don't think we need to do too much. I already did a lot. We can just take this, take this, and I'm gonna take the first part. And maybe we can bring it in right there. And I would do more on this end, but let's see if we can. issue, we'd have to cut this. Why is it not sticking? Okay, it's not sticking for some reason. I don't know what. All right, we'll just Alt-G it. Alt-G, and we'll just delete because it's not, for some reason, it's not sticking to the grid. And then I think we can come back in here. I'm gonna add actually something in there too, just so it's not. Wait, why did I do that? Let's delete that. And to do this. It should be about like 2 minutes. You don't really need like 3-minute beats. Let me see. We could do another one. I would do more with the structure, but I think nowadays it really don't matter. You could just throw it in there. All right. Wait, what? Why is this off? I messed something up. I think I did, but let's do this. Just a simple outro, and then you could just fade it out. I'm not gonna do that because just doing a lot. So that is it. I'll play the whole beat later. Well, not the whole thing, but I'll play like the front part. But right now, what we're gonna do is go to the mixing, which shouldn't take long because we just only got a few here. All right. Next, we're gonna go ahead and finalize the beat. So even though this is a full process, keep in mind, this still is a tutorial, which means if I was just making this on my own, I would probably do a lot more, probably, you know, take a little bit more time. You know, I would even probably take time off, right? So I would probably like save it here and then come back to it later. But I mean, this beat I think is pretty finalized. So I think what we're gonna do real quick is everything is here, everything is, you know, organized. I'm gonna actually change this to the color we used earlier, just so we know what is what. And then for our master, so I only have an EQ and a soft clipper. You can use whatever you want to kind of finalize it and like make everything crispy, but for the soft clipper, usually I just like to put this at -12 until it has that like low rumbling effect. So this is what it sounds like now. I'll just zoom in so you can see. Quick. You can see it has that rumble, so I kind of like that. So I'll pull that threshold back until I hear that rumble. And then on top, I have this EQO here. So I have presets for this already. So I already kind of showed you how to use it. So I'll just flip through the presets, and then, I mean, you can decide which one you like, but I'll obviously choose the one I like, so. That's definitely the most crispy one, but. Like this one, it's a weird, but I kind of like this one, so I'm gonna probably go with this one a bit. Okay, so I'll play a little bit of this. I'll play from here. I mean, there'll be an outro, so you can listen to it there, but I'll just play like, maybe like to here. So here we go. That's the beat. All right, and that's pretty much the beat. Now, any changes I will make right now is I'll probably use a second 808 and probably change up the pattern here, which I would, let's move back. I would click here and then I will go make unique. Now I'll probably change up some of the 808 pattern just to make it probably a lot less active. But yeah, that's it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Make sure you like and subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.